So we are over 1,000 roasts in on our home sample roaster, trying to explore doing the whole micro roastery thing. And when we started all this, we didn't really have any idea what we were doing.
And we still kind of don't.
And we still kind of don't know what we're doing. But we are learning a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like
it's been fun sometimes.
Yeah, we're sometimes.
Okay. Sometimes it's a lot of sitting in front of the roaster.
I guess that's true. But we are having fun with it, and we are learning as we go. And I feel like we are a lot actually further ahead than we were a year ago with this stuff.
The fun part is actually when we get a bean dialed in. That's actually really fun.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell the difference, and when you find the roasting curve or whatever it's called, the roast profile.
Yes.
That is really fun.
Yeah, you really feel like you've unlocked something magical there when that happens. And I feel like we just have kind of figured out how to shorten that process over time. So just to recap, though, I think before we go any further, like what have we done in the last year with the roastery?
Well, we got a roaster.
Yep.
We plugged it in.
Yeah, we did.
We vented it out the window.
Yeah.
And started getting green beans.
Yes.
You got a couple different sources of farms that have good reputations, good quality. And then we started roasting.
Yeah.
And we had a little pop-up cafe in the summer of last year.
Couple of them.
Couple pop-up cafes. Yep. And started selling to Canadian market. We're still figuring out the U.S. thing. And pretty quickly realized how much time it takes to fulfill orders on a little sample roaster.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So, it's this big.
Yes, it is a small roaster. And sometimes we've actually had people over who enjoy our coffee locally. And they're like, oh, can we see the roastery? And it's like, sure, it's in this room.
There's not much to see.
And they're like, oh, that's it?
Yeah, cute little machine.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, it does such a great job. And we're like, yeah, we know. But also it is very small.
Yeah.
I think we can talk about some of the limits of where we're at shortly. But I think one of the questions that we get asked a lot is like, okay, so running a coffee micro roastery, like what does that look like start to finish? So I think you kind of went over it in broad strokes, but the first thing that we have to do is we have to find coffees that we like.
Mm-hmm. That's been all you. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I just pay the bills.
Well, kind of. It is more you than you think, though.
Well, I guess I have preferences about,
totally.
Different varieties of processing methods.
Yes.
Actually, learning about processing methods and how it impacts the end taste is really kind of cool.
Yeah. So typically what we'll do is we'll get samples of green coffee. They come in these little bags, and we'll put them through a base profile in the roaster, and we'll line them all up on the table, and I'll cup them. More importantly, Sarah cups them, and we will kind of get our thoughts together. And I think through that process, I feel like every time we do that, I just feel like we're so aligned in what we are looking for.
We usually really like or dislike the same things.
Yeah. So that's made things a lot easier in terms of...
That always makes me proud of myself.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
I can keep up with you.
She really downplays herself in this stuff, and really your palate is excellent. And she'll like snipe tasting notes out of, she's like, I think I'm tasting this. I'm like, actually, you're totally right. That is what that is.
Yeah, but not always. Depends how focused I am, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think you're great.
Thanks.
And that really is a very fun part of the process. It's kind of like you're just looking, I mean, so many of the coffees that we sample are excellent.
Yeah.
But it's looking for the ones that we want to bring in.
Yeah.
And we feel like make for a good fit. Mm-hmm. That part of it is really fun. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then once we choose a coffee, then we have to order it. Then the scary part, handing over our credit card information.
I mean, it's kind of scary, but we do small batches at a time.
Yeah. Still, though, every time we do that, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Will anybody buy this?
Yeah. So then we buy a big bag.
But sure enough, you do. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We hope you enjoy it.
And then it shows up off a truck, and we carry it into the house, these big burlap bags of green coffee. And then we have to dial it in, which that's a whole process. Probably the number one question about roasting that we get asked on the channel is, how do you actually dial in a green coffee? So we're going to make a whole video about that. It'll be released later this summer. And do you enjoy that process where I keep bringing out more samples and getting you to taste them?
I enjoy comparing the difference.
Yeah,
that's really fun.
It is kind of a fun process. So that's the next stage. Then once we have done that, that actually takes a little while. So when we get green coffee in and we're trying to figure out the best way to roast it, it's not like we get it in and then it's listed on our website the next day, right? Like we got to go through the process of really tuning things down. But then once we do that and we lock that in, then we shift into what's called production. I guess before that we design the labels and make all the graphics.
Yeah, because you like to make the color of the label represent the taste of the coffee, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
I like helping pick the color. Like, taste like that color.
Yeah, we're always kind of like looking at different ones, and then usually you're like, can you move the slider a little? And
I like to just tweak it at the end.
So we do that, and then we shift into production, which is basically the roast profile is set. We put the green coffee into the roaster, and then it comes out the other end, and then we bag it up. And that's something that you will actually do from time to time.
Yeah, well, once the profile is set on here, like it's very just mechanical, and like the whole thing is easy for me to do. I don't develop the profiles.
Yep.
That's all you.
Yep.
And this little screen tells you all kinds of information I don't pay attention to. But I do keep it going, and that part is very simple, straightforward.
Yeah, so we set up the roaster. This is actually a really cool thing with this roaster, I think. Like, once you have the curve that you want, there's so many sensors in there, and it will just follow the curve perfectly.
Do y'all know what a roast curve is?
I guess that's a good question. Basically, what a roast curve is it's a curve on a graph, and the different curves represent different things. Some of them represent bean temperature. Some of them represent the rate of change in bean temperature. Some of them represent drum temperature, air temperature, all these things. And you're trying to keep all these values following specific curves.
Do you want them to be similar curves or specific? They would be very different, but they need to be specific.
They can be different, but they do need to be specific in order for the coffee to be consistent over time. And that was something that was really important to me when we were setting up the roastery. I didn't want it to be, let's use our intuition when we are trying to get to the perfect product, the perfect roast for the coffee.
But then have consistency over time.
Then once we have that, lock it in, and it's going to be able to do that every time. And this roaster does that very well.
Yeah, and then you have me weigh the beans at the end to see how much moisture loss is gone.
Yep.
So then if the beans are too light and they lost too much moisture, that means something?
Yeah, then we make some slight adjustments on the curve, depending on how those values, and then she resumes production.
Right. And something was happening one time where there was an inconsistency because they were losing too much moisture. I forget what it was, but it was noticeable in the weight at the end.
Yep. And then we were able to resolve it and get 100% consistency.
Yeah. So that keeps the quality consistent over time. I like that.
Yeah. Also, the roaster will drop automatically. So when it detects that all the conditions have been met and this is the time to finish the roast, the beans will automatically come out, which is nice for you because there's no wondering if you've done it right.
Yeah.
The roaster will just kind of spit it out at the right time. And then when it's ready to put the beans in again, the roaster will use what's called a between batch process, and it will actually just like beep at you when all the inside conditions of the roaster are ready for that new batch to go in. So it kind of makes it so that without a lot of expertise, you can do a lot of coffee production. And that's been very helpful for us.
Yeah, because I can sit beside this with my laptop and go through email or,
As long as it's interruptible.
It has to be an interruptible task because you get interrupted many times. But as long as it's like the small little tasks that only take a couple minutes, you can keep things moving and keep this moving. And
there's even been times when I've been here filming a video for, I don't know, some YouTube video that I was making, and you've been roasting coffee orders. Sometimes it seems like somebody's roasting coffee orders all week, but it's, is really very easy to manage. And that's been nice for you to have that simplicity for sure. Then once the production is ready, we bag them up in our little bags. Final real actual bags from a bag manufacturer coming, but we're still using our temp bags.
Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah, thank you, Amazon. And then you bag them up and do the fulfillment in Shopify. And for local orders, sometimes you drive them around, and aside from that, you drop them off at wherever, Canada Post, FedEx.
Depends who has the best price.
Yeah. And then we send them out. So that's kind of what it looks like. And really, we just try and release coffees as we're able to keep that process going. And this is where we're probably hitting our biggest lid right now. Would you agree?
I mean, I think you would like to be able to experiment with more coffees and bring in more variety and offer different things because it's fun.
Yeah.
But you just have no more time to put in front of it. I have no more time to put in front of it.
Yes.
You want more coffees to offer.
Yes. We got to do something different.
Got to do something different.
Yeah. I mean, it does an amazing job, but it is a sample roaster. It's not really designed to do production at any kind of meaningful scale. Like the batches max out at around 200 grams. When it's in counterflow mode, that batch size is very doable, but still that's less than a bag of coffee that we would ship out. So it's more than one roast for every bag of coffee that we send out the door.
It's
so,
almost 2 full roasts.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So we got to change some things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and if we're actually going to make a little bit of money on roasting coffee, we need to shift.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I would say it's not in viable business territory.
Not viable business.
We're having a lot of fun.
But it is fun.
Yeah.
And we love serving our friends and our family and our community and our fans great coffee.
Yes.
Right now it's for fun.
Yes. So 1,000 roasts plus. We're actually well over that now, but that was kind of the marker that we said we wanted to revisit this. We've learned a lot. We have, I think, outgrown our capacity in terms of number of hours behind the roaster that we can fulfill. And we've been working on some things behind the scenes. So we're going to be bringing you guys some updates over the next couple months. And I think you're going to be very excited about that. We certainly are. So the roaster is doing exactly what we need to do very well. People compliment us on our consistency of coffee. You know, they get a new bag, they put their grinder to the same spot on the dial, even if it's been a couple months since they had our coffee, and they can pull a shot of espresso. So I'm taking that as a win.
Good. That's a win.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing. We've gotten that feedback a couple times actually. And yeah, we're ready to make some moves here to keep doing this. We love doing this. It's a real passion project, and we'd love to be doing more with it. So we're going to keep you guys posted. We hope your next cup of coffee is fantastic. And we'll see you on the next video.